up, early caffeine's our call. Ralph with tech news ready for all. Coding workouts getting us toned. By sunrise we'll be in the zone. Grab your Java, sip the brew. Headlines, tech tips just for you. Editing lines, making it tight. With every keystroke we see the light. Coffee and CAA, wake up the day. Stretch your mind in the geeky way. Mornings are better with our grind. Tech coach Ralph, you'll never lag behind. Push those reps in lines of code. Script the future fast and bold. From headlines deep to bites so bright, we're your guide to morning mites. Coffee and CAA, wake up the day. Stretch your mind in the geeky way. Mornings are better with our grind. Tech coach Ralph, you'll never lag behind. Coding flows, camaraderie grows. News unfolds and insight flows. Minute by minute, heartbeats pace. Come join us at the daily rate. Coffee and CAA, wake up the day. Stretch your mind in the geeky way. Mornings are better with our grind. Tech coach Ralph, you'll never lag behind. Coffee and CAA, wake up the day. Stretch your mind in the geeky way. Mornings are better with our grind. Tech coach Ralph, you'll never lag behind. Mornings are better with our grind. Tech coach Ralph, you'll never lag behind. Mornings are better with our grind. Coffee and CAA, wake up the day. Stretch your mind in the geeky way. Mornings are better with our grind.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. How is everyone doing today? Hopefully you're doing well. We had a great Q&A show last night. Some tough questions. That question about the lady who found her dream job but it was 3 hours away from her family and her dogs. That one still kind of bothers me because it's like there's no good answer to that. There is no good answer to that. Like there's so many different dynamics at play. But you know, life is tough. Life is tough because you have to make some decisions that you don't really want to make. There's like no perfect answer, but we got to do what we got to do. We have to do what we have to do in order to progress. All right. So we are here for, let the V8 go by. All right. So we are here for large language model. We are learning about AI engineering, prompting, large language models. So we're going to continue that. We're going to be working on our project today where we are going to be moving our web page summarizer over to the Ollama, our local large language model, as opposed to the one that we implemented the first day for day one, where we were using we're using OpenAI's API, right? So that's the plan for today. I am Tech Coach Ralph. We're Engineered to Win. Today is Wednesday, January 15th. We're halfway through January. It's like the year started yesterday, right? And we're already halfway. We're 15, 16 days away from February. So let's make it, let's keep the year going strong. We're not going to miss here. We are not going to miss here. We're going to work our butts off learning the large language model, learning ethical hacking, learning DevOps, having our Q&A. Sometimes we're going to do some working sessions on maybe Saturday nights or something like that. But we're not going to miss. We do not miss, all right? We are here to learn and to grow. I have people who are learning Python, people who are learning QA and automation, people who are learning the banking industry, people who are learning cybersecurity and DevOps and everything like that. And I just love to tap in with everyone and help them grow into their careers, their learning journey and stuff like that. So really, really cool stuff that's happening here. Quick announcement. Let me put up the 45-minute timer. All right. So quick announcement at noon Eastern time today. At noon Eastern time today, we are going to be premiering the 5 stages of penetration testing presentation, which is going to help us with tomorrow's live stream about as we learn ethical hacking, right? So that is the plan for today and tomorrow. Tomorrow, 7:30 p.m. I'm going to schedule it probably tomorrow morning for 7:30 p.m. tomorrow night, where we're going to be continuing our ethical hacking course, all right? But with that being said, we are going to jump into the work for today, all right? So I'm going to switch to the browser real quick, just so you can see that Jupyter Notebooks is down because I had ended up stopping it or maybe restarting the terminal and stuff like that. Actually, no, I think my battery had died yesterday and then the computer restarted. So everything that was up, it's down. So we have to bring it back up. But I like to do that so that we can continue to practice the different commands that we need, activating our Conda environment, opening up Jupyter Labs, and then working our way through that. Because if we take shortcuts, then we're going to not know it, and it's going to be tough for us to make it through. All right, so let me go ahead and switch over to here. So as you can see, that the Jupyter Notebooks. Let me get rid of this bookmark bar. Okay, as you can see, this is the Jupyter Notebooks. It is currently down, so I am going to go over to my terminal. And let's clear this out. And we're going to say, I wonder if we can do, let me see, Conda. Let me see if I just do Conda, what we get. I want to see, just curious to see if we can see a list install packages in Conda environment. I was curious to see if we could see what environments were active, but probably a way to see it. But we know the package that we're looking for. So we're going to do, or the environment we're looking for. So Conda activate, and we're going to say LLMS. All right, so now that's activated. So we're going to do Jupyter Lab, right? And real quick, while I have you here, I know we're not talking about ethical hacking today, but remember, I just want to, I have it here open, so I wanted to show you this real quick. Remember last week when we were having troubles with the UTM installation? I did some changes, and I'll go over it tomorrow night, but I did some changes in the UTM config, and I was able to get to this point. I'm not sure if we got to this point last time, but we're gonna try to do a graphical install on UTM tomorrow and see what happens in parallel to the other work we're doing. I'm just curious to see if we can get it installed on UTM. I might also see if I can download that VMware that Prince Marky D was telling me about. So maybe we can that way we can have all 3 options to see if we can install Kali Linux that way. But that is for tomorrow. I just had it up, so I just wanted to show you in case you are following along for the Kali Linux course that we're taking, all right, or the ethical hacking course that we're taking, which is heavily revolved around Kali Linux. All right. Anyways, so we have our Jupyter Notebooks up. Let's see if we have our Ollama up. Let's see Ollama. Let's see Ollama list. And it is, I don't know if it's running. Let's do Ollama. I like to do these commands so that they can stick into my mind. So let's do Ollama, and we will do serve. And it's already being used. So it's still running, right? So we're good on that front. So we can now go over to our Jupyter Notebooks. Funny story about Jupyter Notebooks. When I was helping one of my cousins with her master thesis some years ago. That was like, she had Jupyter notebooks installed on her laptop, and it was a MacBook Air. It could not handle all the algorithms that she was trying to run. So I was like, I ended up setting it up on a AWS instance. I'm telling you, I figured out some weird things in the past, like how to set this stuff up on AWS and stuff like that. But it was fun. It was fun. All right. Okay. So our plan for today, I think we wrote out what we were planning to do. So let's go. We're probably gonna have to run these again, but let's just take a look at this over here. Right. I wrote out in comments everything that we want to do today. So we want to set up so we need to, the goal is Ollama is being passed a web page URL and it returns a summary of that page. We have to set the user agent. We have to get the content of the web page using Beautiful Soup. Parse the HTML content, store page content into a variable. The function will take the URL and pass it into Ollama Python code, set the system context, rip out the navigation information, store relevant content into a variable, set the user content, pass relevant page content into user context, make the request to Ollama to summarize the web page, print out the response from Ollama in Markdown code, pass in the URL to the page I need a summary of, right? So, and then with that, we should be provided a summary of provide a summary of the past URL, right? So, I guess we can get cracking, we can get to it. So, let's see, where do I want to start? I want to start off with, let me start off with this, right? Let me start off with, I'm weird like that. I'm definitely weird like that, but what I'm gonna start off with is this. I am going to say the web page summary, and I am going to say, all right, the way that I write my code, it's backwards, it's weird, but it helps me. Working backwards helps me get to a better working solution, right? And just bear with me as I do this. So I'm going to take this. So my guy Magnetar, right? The King Snitcher himself. He sent me this URL for this USA jobs. I'll pull it up actually in case anybody, I'll drop it in the chat as well in case anybody's interested. But it was a information technology student trainee position. Pretty much kind of like an internship. So I'm just going to drop it in here in case anybody is interested in applying for that. But I am going to pass this in here, right? And it's going to, and I'm going to run it and it's going to fail. I know it's going to fail. Okay. I know it's going to fail. But if I go and say, right, so it's failing because web page summary, there's no function called web page summary, right? So what am I going to do? I'm going to create a function called web page summary, all right? Define web page summary. And I'm going to say pass in a URL, right? And for now, I'm just going to print the URL, right? That's all I want to do. And now when I do that, now my function or this step will be passing, all right? But that is not the actual solution that we want. But I just want to set the foundation of when I pass in the web page summary, I should be getting a summary of that page, okay? And this is going to take us this might take us a couple of days to get through, but I just want to start it this way, right? So I have my function, right? So, but it's not giving me exactly what I wanted to do, and I'll be referencing back to day one as well to see like some of the code because I don't remember all of the OpenAI code and stuff like that. But what I do want to do, all right, so now I want to say, and then what I'm going to do, I'm going to pretty much maybe write everything out into this function right here. And then I'm going to start to extract. I'm going to start to extract different parts to make it more clean code, right? So it's gonna be dirty code first. Ooh, dirty code, my goodness, right? But after that, I'm going to be cleaning up the code, putting them in the right functions and methods and all that good stuff, right? So, and with the right variables. So I'm going to say, I want to make so right now, everything's going to go into this function, right? So I want to do a request. Let's just call it response for now, right? I can do request dot get, and we'll say URL, right? And I want to print out the response, right? That's all I'm going to do right now. And I'm going to run it. And when I run it, it's going to fail because we don't have the request library imported. So what am I going to do? I'm going to go up to the top. Let's say we do import necessary packages. And the reason that I'm doing it all in here is, as opposed to like how we have all these different little steps over here, is because I don't want to have to go back and run all of these. That's one of the things like why I generally like to code in like in IDE, but Jupyter Notebooks has its definitely necessary benefits. So I'm going to say import requests. The request or request? Let me see. All right. So now let's try to run it again. And it passed or it doesn't pass. It says import no module. All right. Let me maybe it's request then. Let me see. All right. So look at that. Now it's passing with a response of 200. Not what we want in particular, but we're getting further, right? So now I want to say, if I was to do, let's say response dot text maybe. Let me see. I don't remember all the stuff from. All right, there you go. Look at that. So now we have all of our HTML that was captured. Okay. What's up, Rod Brown? How are you doing this fine morning? Hopefully, how's the weather up there for you, Rod Brown? How is the weather for you up in the South Carolinas? All right. So we have. So now we're making progress. Now we're getting all of our HTML content, okay? So we want to, next up, one thing I want to do, right, as a QA engineer, I want to actually make sure though that my response is getting a 200 and I don't want a 500 error, because if I have a 500 error, I don't even want to do anything else up there, right? So I'm going to throw in a if statement. I know some people learning Python, just getting into the if statements, and they're like crushing it, like, oh wow, look at that. I'm doing if statements. I'm like, yes, you are. All right, so I'm gonna say if, let's say expect response dot stat. And this is one of the reasons I like IDs, because I don't memorize these things. Let's say. Let me see, response dot. Let me see. Let me see. Do Python request. Request response object. Let me take a look at this real quick. So it is status code. Right? So let me go over here, and we'll say dot status code equals, should be 200 for a web page, right? Let's say we do that, and we'll say status. I will say this instead of equal. I'll say status code is. Let me see, 200 equal to less than. So it should be greater than or equal to 200 and less than 300. Let's do that. Status. Hopefully I got it. I'm always getting the greater than the less than backwards, right? But status code is not in range of 200 to 300, right? So let me try that. and invalid, oh, of course, invalid syntax expect. I always mess up with this one. Let me do it a different way. Let's say status code is greater or equal to, let's try it that way first. Make sure that invalid syntax expect response. Let's see how that goes. Python expect. How's my Python expect status code? Do this every day. Let me see. That's not the right. There we go. We expect request. I don't know. Anyways, it's supposed to be expect. Let me pull up one of my codes. Assert. There we go. That's the one I'm looking for. That's the one that I was looking for. Get it backwards. All right. So let me run that again. All right. So that passes. So let me try this again. So let me do 200 greater than or equal to, and then less than. I don't know. Why did I think it was expect? I don't know. All right. Let's go with that. Cool. So we're still good. Perfect. All right. So now. Holy crap, that's a lot. All right, cool. So we got that. So I'm just making sure that this is passing, and it is. I want my status code to be between 200 and 300. Let me see. What's up, your car? How is it going? Rod Brown says that it is 30 degrees over in South Carolina. Wow. And your car says it's 20 degrees in DC. It's 13 degrees in Detroit. Wow. Well, we might be underwater soon in Florida because they've been telling us that for the past 50 years that we'll be underwater in Florida. But while I'm waiting to be underwater, let me see. It is a beautiful, let's see, 59 degrees right now. So I will happily wait to be underwater. All right. Okay. So next, we have the page being pulled in. Next up, I want to do beautiful soup. So I want to say, I'm going to go up here and I'm going to say, what I want to do is pass in. Did I have it up here somewhere? I want to take, so we have this here. I'm just going to move my comments in here just so you can see what we're doing. So this part right here is get the content of the web page, right? Now I want to use beautiful soup to parse the HTML content. So I want to say, let's do import. I could reference to the import beautiful soup. I could reference from the other one, but I'd rather do it here first, right? So from BS, I'd rather look it up just so I can get the habit of knowing how to research, because I might not have a project that was done already. So I'm like, all right, from BS4 import beautiful soup. So we're going to do that. We're going to say from BS4 import beautiful soup, right? So we have beautiful soup imported, and I want to say, let's say soup equals beautiful soup, and we're going to pass this here, right? Like I said, I like to work backwards, because if I can work backwards, I can say, okay, I have all my web page content. Now that I have my web page content, now let me pass it through the AI stuff. Instead of doing the AI stuff first and not knowing what I'm going to be passing through it, if that makes sense. So that's just the way that I like to work. There's many different ways of writing code. So the way that I'm doing it, it is not gospel. I'm not the know-it-all for writing code. I write code that works, and you write code that works, or you will write code that works. However, you can get it to work and then make it better. So my motto, as you know, I make it work and then I make it better. Okay. All right. So let's see what else we have. So let me take a look at the Beautiful Soup documentation. So we have, so we're doing this right here. And then let's print it out and we'll prettify it. Let's prettify it. All right. So let's go over to soup prettify. And that's part, like I was saying, right? That's part of the issue that I have with, like, unless Jupyter Notebooks has a way of doing it and I don't know about it, but I like to have my autocomplete because I don't remember, like, how are you expected to remember all of this stuff, right? So anyways, let's run it again, see what happens. Okay. It doesn't look pretty to me, to be honest with you. Let me see. It would be, well, I guess that's how it's supposed to look. I don't like it, but all right, so there we go. Let's see, what else do we have? So we have our HTML being passed into Beautiful Soup. What else do we do with Beautiful Soup? Let's see. Let me see. Soup fine. All right. All right. We have Beautiful Soup, and so let's do some printing of, like, okay, so let's do content. So instead of text, we'll do content and we'll do HTML parser. I remember doing that. All right. So let's do let's try content. Right. Let me do that real quick. Okay. And we'll do parser equals so it's just HTML parser. All right. So we'll do HTML.parser. All right, let's do that again. Okay, so like I said, I always like to run early and often. I'm always running it over and over and over and over again to see if I'm getting a failure, if my results are changing, stuff like that. Let's do another. Let me do print dot title. And is there a just title? So let's do. Let me close that out. Close that out. All right. So let's do another enter. And we have USA jobs. All right. Let's see here. So if we do title.name, what do we get from that? Title. And if we were, is there like a title text? All right. So let's do title dot text. Okay, cool. So we're getting there with Beautiful Soup. I wish I could find some type of, I'm sure it exists somewhere, but some type of documentation on all the different things that we could pull from Beautiful Soup. But neither here nor there. We don't really need all that for this project. So I'm just gonna go back to soup. I wonder if I could do soup.text. Oh yeah, look at that. Cool. Perfect. All right. All right, cool. So let's continue on. So now that we have our content being passed into Beautiful Soup, what can we do with it? Let me see. Let's see. All right, so now we have this part taken up. Okay, what's next? So we can get into, all right, so we have, what do we have left to do? So we're printing out the response from Ollama in Markdown. We haven't printed out the response yet, but we haven't made anything to Ollama yet. set user context for relevant page, store relevant content into a variable. So we're going to say that the, let's do, so I'm going to change this name from soup to content to be summarized, right? I like to have very, very clear and specific, variable names, right? So I'm going to update that, going to run it again, and there we go. Now we are going to say, I wonder why it has all these spaces in between it, but we're going to say, all right, so let's say, I'm going to, got this. Next up, let's go to, let me put some space in between this. Let's go to function that will take the URL and pass it to Ollama Python code. So we haven't gotten to that part yet. Set system context, store. All right, so we got this store page content into a variable. Let me copy this part. And we're going to say that's going to be that part right there, right? Storing it into a variable. And let's go to, we should set the user agent as well. Let's go to, let me set the user agent. And let's go to set user agent. So, set user agent for request Python. And we're gonna, all right, we're gonna do, just copy this right here. Then we'll pass it in as a header. We're gonna take that and we're going to say, and the reason that we're doing this is because some sites like the BLS, which I asked Chris Parks last night to talk to the people who have the powers that be to allow it to take www as well as not having www and to allow it to work with my web page summarizer, right? So we'll be on top of that. So passing the headers, I'm going to run it again. And we're still good to go. Perfect. All right. So we have that. All right. What's next on our list? Function that will take the URL and pass it to the Ollama code. So we have the function that will take the URL. It is actually, this is the function right here that's going to take the URL. It's not passing it to Ollama yet, but this is the function that will do it. So now let's start working on setting the system context, right? So I'm going to go to, let me see, set the user context, pass relevant page, store relevant code into a variable. Store the relevant content into, so this is done already. Let's take that out. So now let's start going to, we're going to use this right here, import Ollama, right? And we want to say, we want to do, can I minimize this one? There we go. We want to do Ollama.chat. We need to set the model as well. Let's go to, all right, let's go to starting over here, right? Or not, I can start over here. Let's say Ollama, or let's say not response, but LLM, or we'll say web page summary from Ollama is going to equal Ollama dot chat, right? And we do that, and it should fail at some point. I'm gonna stop printing out this because it's gonna provide me too much text that I don't need to see. So I'm gonna comment this out. And it fails because Ollama is not imported yet, right? It's not defined. So we're going to say import Ollama, run it again. And now it's going to fail because we are not doing all of our models and stuff like that, right? So we need to pass in the model, we need to pass in the message, all that good stuff. So we are going to say that let me see. So let's say model is 3.2, Llama 3.2. So let's go and say model equals Llama 3.2. Is that how it was? Me should have just copied it. Yep. Llama is model 3.2. And we'll have to define the messages. All right. One thing I have to look up for the Ollama model though is I have to look up to see. Let me see. Ollama Python library. Let's take a look at this. But I have to look up setting up like the context and stuff like that. But so model, Llama 3.2, message, role, content. All right. So let's reference to this instead of having to go back all the time. So we will do we don't need that anymore. We will do model equals model, right? Little bit of code, we run. We should get, well, I guess we got nothing back because we didn't pass in a message, right? Which it's not good. Doesn't fail. Like it doesn't give an error, but technically we fail. So we're gonna say message equals, and we would go with what's the body for the message? So role, user, content, why is the sky blue? So let's go with this right here. So we have our JSON list or array, and we're going to say, and how do they say? They say messages equals, I guess kind of just pass in messages. Or how do we do it up here? We said messages equals messages. Okay, perfect. So we would say down here, messages equals messages, right? So right now, if we enter this, we're only going to get the response of why is the sky blue? That's it, because that's what we're passing in here. We haven't passed into the text that we're getting from the web page, right? So let's do enter. And we're not printing anything out either. So that's why we're not getting a response. So we're going to say print, we're going to say web page summary from Ollama, which is, we're not going to get the web page summary, but we're going to say, and then we're going to say, what is it again? And then messages content, right? So we're going to say messages content, right? Yep. So let's go to enter. Why? All right. So now says Messages role failed. Good morning, love. How are you doing today? Love, anybody ever tell you that you have such a lovely name? No pun intended. Actually, no, the pun is intended, but all right. It says key error messages role. So let's see. Message role user. Message role key error non-existent. Let's see what is going on here. How do we do it up here? Let me take a look up here. So we have let me see. Let me do an Ollama pull as well. This one I'll do from up here. Let's make sure. All right, so here. Ollama chat model messages message. So what is the messages that we have up here? We have, so this seems about right. Copy that. If we look down here, let me paste another one of this down here. Compare the two. Raw user content. It's the same. I would expect to see that. So let me see what the error is. All right, so it says non-existent if key and self get attribute. Non-existent in message. Raw user. Messages. So right here, because I said messages instead of message, right? Let's see what we get. Not getting anything returned. Response message. Response message content. Should be getting something back. Oh, wait, got an error. It says message is not defined. So here's what I'm going to do, right? Before I even get to this point, I'm just going, oh, come on. Oops. What in the world just happened here? Oh, wait. So before I even do that, I'm just going to print web page summary. I want to see what's being returned to me first, right? Let's comment this out. Enter. Let's see if we get a response for just printing out this, because that way then I'll be able to see what I'm getting. Message, content. So I'm getting it back, but when I do response, message, content, message, content, I feel like I should be getting it back. So it's working here. So if I do print, so it's, now you're gonna see the way that my mind works, right? So now I'm just gonna say print message. Let's see if this works. So it's telling me that message is not defined here. Strange. What if I do dot message? Let's see. Oh, okay. So for some reason, when I'm putting it like this, like they say over here, that's not working. But when I access the field directly, it does work. So that's strange. But nonetheless, so now let's say dot content. Run that again. Cool. So we have our answer of why does the sky appear blue, but that is not the summary of this URL, right? So now we're going to say, I'm going to see if I can also do a system role. And we're going to say system. I want this to be a snarky recruiter who is, or how about this? A snarky high school student who is giving summaries of websites to the class. Ignore all the navigation content on the page. Just focus on the important stuff. All right. And we're going to say for the user, can you give me a summary of the what this article is about? And then we're going to be passing in, I guess I can put an F string here, I suppose. And I can go like that, I think. And I'm going to say it's going to be content to be summarized, right? I think that's going to work. And I would say now, if we go with that, we would say enter. Let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. Let me just officially say good morning to my new friend, Love. Up there in Ohio, it's -1 degree. Love, you are giving me nightmares. You are giving me nightmares. I have to travel to Nebraska. How is the weather in the Midwest in March? I have to travel towards the end of March to Nebraska, and I'm probably gonna have to go through Chicago or through Denver, and I am absolutely terrified. And we have my best friend in the whole wide world.
Did we just become best friends? Yep.
Mitch says it just gets to a point where he's like, I can't stay quiet anymore. I just have to say how amazing Ralph is. And I appreciate you for that, Mitch. I totally appreciate you for always letting me know when you just can't hold it anymore. You have to say, you know what, that guy, Ralph, he is absolutely amazing. Half tech, half amazing.
I appreciate you.
All right, so we have so this is the HTML containing the job posting for an information technology training position. Here's the breakdown of the content: job title, information, yada yada yada, job summary, yada yada yada. I don't see any snarkiness though, so I wish we could get a little bit of snarkiness. Wait. A snarky high school student named Mitch, who is giving summaries. And like I say, make the response with a serious attitude, right? There we go. And I want to do the markdown though. So let's do, like, I could reference back the project one, but we have not looked at project on day one yet. We have not looked on day one yet. So far, we've just been doing our like Googling and stuff like that. So Python library for Markdown. I think it's like IPython or something like that. Let me see. I'm sure there's many of them though. Install Markdown. Let me see. What is it? Python. IPython. Display. I think that's the one that we're looking for. Let me see. IPython display. Let me see if Markdown is in there. Cool. So we need to import from IPython, Markdown, and display. And there's a progress bar. Interesting. So let's try to do, where's the import statement? From IPython, import display and I don't know why documentation is always so weird. All right, let's do. So we're getting close to finishing this today, but our code is not clean. Our code is not clean, right? Everything is all in one.
Simple, B. It says wrap it up. Wrap that shit up, B.
Everything is all in one spot, and I do not like it like that. But the key thing is getting it to work first. The most important thing is getting it to work first, right? So from that's not IPython display. Is that what it's called? Or is it IPython? IPython. Okay, so from IPython, import display and markdown, or is it caps? I think it might be caps. Markdown, display, something like that. Let me run it just to make sure that that's going to work. Nope. It says cannot import name markdown from IPython. All right, so that was wrong. So let me try maybe markdown with lowercase and display with lowercase. Run that. Cannot import markdown from IPython. All right, hold your horses. Let me find a better documentation. Import from IPython. Let me see. That's not a good answer. Install IPython. IPython is a dependency for Jupyter Notebooks, so it's already installed. From IPython. Okay, no. Oh, is it because I'm putting Python in caps? Let me see. No module named IPython. So it is a call IPython. Let's try that. So now it says I cannot find markdown. So let's try display first, right? Let's try display first. And display works. Allegedly. All right, so where's the markdown then? Let me see. Where is markdown? Let's see if we could finish. If we can finish it, like if we can get this to a good point. Markdown. So it's under display. Huh. Let's see. So display, markdown. Huh. So, okay, so in that case, can we do then and display dot markdown or not? Let's see. Okay. You know, in my attempt not to go to day one, let's go here. And what if we were to do print display dot markdown. Oops. That one. Try to run that again. Let's see what we get. Let me see. Python display has no attribute markdown. Let's see. Capital. Let's try with the capital. So close, so close, so close. Might have it backwards though. Let me see. Object is not callable. IPython print markdown. Let's see what we got. All right, so okay, so from IPython display import markdown and display. All right, there we go. And then mark, so the display. All right, so now we got it. That's what I remember from day one. I didn't remember the exact syntax, but if we go back up here and say from IPython is it dot display. There we go. There we go. From IPython dot display import markdown and display. And we are going to say, and then we do display markdown. All right, so we're going to say over here, display markdown, enter. Let's see what we get. Let's see. Oh my goodness. Look at that. I don't know what this none is over here, but we did it. We did it, Joe. We did it. All right, so I don't know what this none is down there though, but we got it. It's HTML job posting for a student trainee position. I don't know why it says it's HTML job posting. And where's the snarkiness? Where is the snarkiness? I gotta do some research into Ollama. There shouldn't be a none down here though. Oh, I know what we need to do. We have to do. All right. Here's what we'll do, right? We'll clean this up. Like it's working. It is totally working, right? But we'll clean it up on Monday. Like by cleaning it up, I mean like we're going to pass in like the proper return statements and stuff like that. We're gonna make it like official. This is the draft code, right? Where we get it to work and then we're gonna clean it up. We're going to put stuff in separate methods or separate functions, pass in some variables and stuff like that. But as of now, let me just move this over to the right spot. Let me see. This would be the make a request to Ollama to summarize. So this is going to be making the request to Ollama to summarize. Get rid of this one and print out the response from Ollama. Let's say here and set the system context. Let's say that's going to be in here. Set the user context is going to be in here. And after I made all these little code cleanups, right? We're gonna run it again just to make sure. And bada bing, bada boom, we have it here. I don't know why it says this is the HTML page. Okay, that's fair enough. But yeah, that's basically it for today. We actually have it working, and then we can just pass in different URLs. We'll take in some different URLs on Monday. If you guys have any URLs you want to share, we can do that. But that is about it for today. I mean, we did the bulk of the work. We did the bulk of the work. Everything, let's get rid of that. Everything is here. And looking good, looking really, really good. And we did not go back and reference day one at all today. We did the necessary research on Python to do like make sure everything is working as is. And now that we have working code, we can start to refactor our code and make it a little bit more professional. You know, this like we shouldn't have a print here. We should have like a return, and that is going to do what it does, right? So that's it for today. I'm gonna go back to full screen. And thank you guys for hanging out with me this morning as you see how my mind works and figuring this stuff out. Some people will start at the top. Like some people, let me share this real quick, right? Some people would start off with like this part over here, like in the code that we looked at on day one. I started off with this over here and I worked my way backwards. I don't think there's a right or a wrong way as long as we get to the right results, okay? So with that being said, we're going to wrap it up. Let me see. We got J-Lo on the tracks in the building. Says, what's up? Just popping in. Today is my birthday. Up early, working my YouTube. Shout out to you. Happy birthday to you, J-Lo on the track. Hopefully you have an amazing, amazing birthday. Hopefully you are not too cold wherever you're at. Love told me it's -1 in Ohio. Your car says it's 20 degrees in DC. Rod Brown says it's 30 degrees in South Carolina. It's crazy. It is crazy over there. Yep, 30 degrees. Your car says it's 13 degrees in Detroit. Crazy out there, crazy out here. I would not say what it is down here, right? Mitch says, "Are you bragging or complaining?" That's a good question for J-Lo on the track. Is J-Lo on the track bragging or complaining that it's his birthday? I think he's just sharing. That's all I gotta say, right? Anyways, we're gonna wrap it up tomorrow noon today. I'm about to schedule the premiere now. We're going to be talking about the 5 stages of penetration testing and ethical hacking. And then tomorrow night, we're going to be going live, continuing to work on our ethical hacking course. I'm going to try to get the VMware that Prince Marky D was talking about last week, so that we can see if we can install that on install Kali Linux on that. So ultimately, I would like to have 3 different virtualization softwares that have Kali Linux installed, just so that we can see the different ways that they work. I'm still not sure about if UTM is going to work yet, but we'll find out together. And then we're going to continue with the rest of the course, right? So let's all right. As we wrap it up, Mitch says that me, Ralph, is sick, and J-Lo on the track took me seriously, thinking that Mitch was talking about him. Says it's 17 degrees. Oh my God, 17 degrees. And he says neither to Mitch. And Mitch says, "Where is my heart?" Oh wow. Probably burned in a cold, dark box in a Serbian prison. Probably that's where it is, and probably that's where it should stay. I'm just saying that's what I when you speak to me, Mitch, that's how I feel. I was looking at that video the other day. It says, "Tell Mitch how you feel." I feel that your heart is locked up in a Serbian prison in a cold, -500-degree weather. Right? But with that being said, I'm gonna get out of here, you guys. I'm going to get ready for the day. You guys have a wonderful day. Tech Coach Ralph, we are out.
Sun's up, early caffeine's a call. Ralph with tech news ready for all. Coding workouts getting us toned. By sunrise we'll be in the zone. Grab your Java, sip the brew. Headlines, tech tips just for you. Editing lines, making it tight. With every keystroke we see the light. Coffee and CAA, wake up the day. Stretch your mind in the geeky geeky way. Mornings are better with our grind. Tech coach Ralph, you'll never lag behind. Push those reps in lines of code. Script the future fast and bold. From headlines deep to bites so bright, we're your guide to morning mites. Coffee and CAA, wake up the day. Stretch your mind in the geeky way. Mornings are better with our grind. Tech coach Ralph, you'll never lag behind. Coding flows, camaraderie grows. News unfolds and insight flows. Minute by minute, heartbeats pace. Come join us at the daily race. Coffee and CAA, wake up the day. Stretch your mind in the geeky way. Mornings are better with our grind. Tech coach Ralph, you'll never lag behind. Coffee and CAA, wake up the day. Stretch your mind in the geeky way. Mornings are better with our grind. Tech coach Ralph, you'll never lag behind. Mornings are better with our grind. Tech coach Ralph, you'll never lag behind. Mornings are better with our grind.